I was talking about this morning. The Cavs are the 4 seed in the East, right? You've got Detroit, Boston, the Knicks, and the Cavs. I don't know, do they stack up with the top of the West? Probably not. But I do think right now, at least, and all these teams outside of Boston have a lot to prove in the postseason. Mm-hmm. But right now, the top 4 teams in the East all look like very good basketball teams. They're all playing well. I think all 4 have won 8 of their last 10 or more going into the break. The Cavs won 8 of 10 going into the break, or 9 of 10 going into the break, and only gained 1 game on Detroit in the standings because they've played great all year long.
Detroit doesn't lose.
Yeah, I mean, they're only like a game or 2 back of Oklahoma City for the best record in the league.
They have the same losses,
yeah.
Just 2 fewer wins. They played 2 less games.
Right. Cavs, I know the Cavs are 7 games back in Detroit, but 8 in the loss column. I can't, the power rankings came out. They were where? Where were the Cavs?
They were 8th overall in the power rankings,
yeah.
4th in the East. We
think they can catch the Pistons? I think it's probably not realistic.
Don't the Pistons come off to y'all like the Cavs last year?
Yes.
It's like
yes,
nobody's really watched the Pistons, but like their record is so good that it's like it's intriguing to see what they're doing. But like nobody has done a deep dive in to see like why the Pistons have been so successful. And it just seems like there's not a team that's going to get to the postseason and win it. Like I don't see them making it out the East.
What Detroit's done incredible this season, and this is a staple of what J.B. Bickerstaff does, is they play incredibly hard every single night regardless of opponent. And that's going to win you regular season games. They have 8 or 9 guys that they play on any given night.
Right.
And depth wins in the
Cade
regular
Cunningham
season.
Is a superstar.
Cade Cunningham has been incredible this year.
Yes.
But outside of Cade Cunningham, if you say, hey, we need a bucket right now, and teams blitz Cade,
right.
I don't really know who their secondary option is in a playoff series. And despite the fact they have had incredible regular season success.
Harris.
If you're relying on Tobias Harris to score you enough points to win a playoff series.
Duncan Robinson.
If you're relying on Duncan Robinson to score enough points.
Jalen Duran.
If we're relying on a guy who is not really an offensive bag yet. These are all good players.
Yeah,
but in the same vein of he's a great role, like pick and roll recipient. Yeah. He's not initiating off. Now, he has a little bit. I get you. But like they don't have a secondary score yet. So as good as they've been in the regular season, and they deserve all the flowers. I want to take nothing away from what J.B. Bickerstaff, my guy Josh, and the rest of their staff has done. Like, take no credit away from them.
Yeah.
They got to prove it in the playoffs before I think anyone can look at them as.
Take credit away from them.
No, I'm just saying before anyone stamps them as bona fide.
Nobody's
this is the number 1 team.
They're even more than the Cavs last year because the Cavs didn't completely come out of left field last year. The Pistons have come way more out of left field.
The record was out of left field last year for the Cavs.
Their final record, but like it wasn't as big a jump as the Pistons have made this year.
The Cavs win total last year was like 52, 53, and they won 64.
Right.
The Pistons win total this year was like 46.
Last year.
No, going into this year was like 46.
Right.
They're on pace to win like 65 games.
Yeah, right.
That's what I'm saying. Like 63 games. Yeah, it's a bigger jump.
They're getting to where the Cavs were last year, but they're coming from a further starting point.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
And I think the general public believes even less in the Pistons than they did in the Cavs last year.
And I think
I would agree with that.
For good reason,
too.
Yeah. And it may not be fair to Detroit at this point.
Right.
But if you're asking me, and I know the question we're going to get into in a sec is, of the 3 teams, New York, Detroit, and Boston.
I'd much rather play in the second round. I'd much rather play Detroit than the other 2.
I don't think than the other 2, but Detroit wouldn't be the number 1 team I'm scared of.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, let's talk about that. Go ahead.
Would I rather play Detroit?
Rank those 3 teams.
Detroit, Boston, or the Knicks?
Well, the question is Jason Tatum back?
That's what I need to know.
That plays a factor.
They're definitely less.
Are we doing this exercise with Jason Tatum?
We can do with and without, but number 1 would be the team you want to play the most, and number 3 the least.
The Knicks.
You see, I think the Celtics would be. I think the Celtics would be 3 for me, even without Tatum.
I agree.
With Tatum, it's not even close.
I agree.
I would go Pistons, Knicks, Celtics. That would be my order.
I go Knicks, Pistons, Celtics.
Really?
I'll explain to you in a second.
You're going Celtics. You're saying the Knicks are the toughest.
Yeah,
but the Knicks are the biggest team of the 3.
That's why. That's the one thing that always gave the Cavs problem was teams that had length. And you think of OG, Mikal Bridges, obviously. Jalen Brunson is short.
Yeah.
Karl Anthony Towns and Mitchell Robinson switching in, and you know how Mitchell Robinson gets in Jared Allen's head.
Yeah.
So and then on top of that, I mean, Mike Brown is a good coach. I ain't gonna say he's the greatest coach, but he's a good coach.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All 3 of those teams and the Cavs, that's 4 good coaches.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like the Boston thing, without Jason Tatum, like I feel like you can get them. because of the fact that we would be better in the paint. I know they got Vucevic, but he's not.
He's no defensive.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so, like, to me, Evan and Jared would feast. And you would have to truly ride their coattail.
But they got championship metal, that team.
I understand that.
You know?
I understand that. But it's something about that part where it's like, because threes, if the three ball ain't falling, like, they're not going to win. But but what can be consistent is a guy that can finish at the rim or around the paint. You got two of them that can do that, especially Jared Allen, whose field goal percentage, his career is third in your career.
If Tatum's back, you'd move them to the 3 spot?
Yes, I would.
Yeah. I don't think there's any debate.
No.
If Tatum's back, they're the 3 spot.
I agree with you. I had them at 3, too.
I have them 3 either way, but certainly by a lot more if Tatum's back. Well, why do you have the Knicks ahead of the Pistons? I don't see that.
So I just think it's matchups more than anything. The Pistons in the Eastern Conference, in my opinion, are unquestionably the toughest, most rugged. They're going to turn it into an absolute dogfight, junkyard brawl. And if it comes to Evan Mobley and Jared Allen versus Isaiah Stewart and Jalen Duren in some kind of physical matchup, we saw what Isaiah Stewart did to Mikal Bridges. He came run off the bench, got a 7 game. Like, those dudes want to fight.
Yeah, right.
Now,
good, let them fight. They'll get suspended.
In a playoff series, that could go against them, and I'm not discounting that. But I just say it's a tough matchup because of how physical they play.
So you saying the Cavs are soft?
I'm saying they have to prove me wrong that they're not.
You're right. They have to prove it. I think on paper now
they should be tougher.
Seem less soft.
But it's still
But yes, they got to prove it in a big spot that they're not soft
anymore.
And
with the Knicks, I just like the way the Cavs match up with the Knicks. I understand what happened a couple of years ago with Mitchell Robinson. I get that. But this year, Cat's been in trade rumors. They have not yet figured out a way in this Mike Brown offense to get everyone playing together. Yeah. They've had stretches where they've looked great, and then they've had stretches where they've looked absolutely horrendous this year. And when they play bad, it's because defensively they can't stop guys. Now, on paper, OG and Bridges should be wing stoppers. They go through spurts where sometimes they stop people. Sometimes it's ole, ole, ole. And guess what happens when you play ole, ole basketball?
That in the playoffs?
Who's playing the
If Karl Anthony Towns is back at your center, he offers zero rim protection, and I think the Cavs could take advantage of that.
But why would they be if they're inconsistent? They're not going to be inconsistent.
Who's 4? Who's the 4 for them?
Cat.
Who the 5?
Mitchell Robinson.
That's how they running that lineup?
They usually play with one big and then Josh Hart.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. So
Mitchell Robinson,
running that line.
Isn't he a really terrible free throw shooter?
Horrific free throw shooter.
Like the worst in the league, right?
One of the worst in the league. He brings you nothing offensively besides dunks. Now, he has terrorized the Cavs in the past.
Yes.
Terrorized.
He's going to kill you on them boards.
Like, he is, but he's susceptible to foul trouble.
Yeah.
If I have to look at a team and say Mitchell Robinson's the X factor, as opposed to a team like Detroit, and it's a bunch of guys that I'm more concerned about physicaling and making the game ugly and stopping the Cavs' free-flowing offense, I just think they match up better with the Knicks than they do the Pistons. And it's not like it's a big gap.
Do you think the Knicks could keep up with them more offensively than the Pistons could, though?
Once again, splitting hairs. I just think it's a better matchup with the Knicks. I think they could run Cat off the court, especially now if they're going to play pick and roll with Harden.
Yeah.
It's going to be a Harden attacking Cat all day, all night. I just think the Cavs have a gigantic advantage in that matchup as opposed to if you're playing Detroit and it's a pick and roll where you're trying to get against Durant, you're trying to go against Stewart.
How is Cat not good? He's so big.
He's horrific defensively.
Wait a minute. Let me get this right. You think that Evan Mobley would take advantage of Karl Anthony Towns?
No, I think James Harden will.
But he's like a foot taller than James Harden.
They're going to run pick and roll, get him in switches every time. They're not going to run any post-ups for Evan Mobley on that. But it's when you switch, because we know how it happens in the playoffs, it turns into pick your matchup, we're attacking that matchup. They're going to put Cat in pick and roll almost every time. And I'm taking Harden over Cat 100 out of 100 times.
What if they don't switch? What if they...
Well, then you got 2-on-1 with Harden going downhill and a shooter in the corner. Good luck.
Mike did some film
breakdown.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
That's why you trade for James Harden. So if you blitz Donovan Mitchell and you get it out of his hands, because Donovan's had success against every team he's played in the playoffs. It hasn't been Donovan's lack of scoring. Now you have a guy you can count on to take advantage of those mismatches.
Right.
And in the playoffs, it is individual matchups and picking your poison. Why was Darius Garland so inefficient in the playoffs? Because no matter what he brought offensively, Indiana was going to pick and roll. Cavs are switching. They're putting Siakam and his ass right down on the block and saying, hey, Siakam, you're 6'10". Darius, you're 6'1". Yeah. Good luck stopping that.
Right.
You're going to get the switches. If you don't switch, that's what Harden wants you to do, so now you're playing on his back. I just think Detroit has more options to stop that than New York does.
So why is it that doesn't scare you, but the Celtics do?
Because they're coached by a maniac?
They could do the same thing to the Celtics, couldn't they?
Yeah, but Vooch, you could... No, Vooch ain't stopping anybody.
Oh, I was about to say.
No.
I was about to
Vooch ain't stopping
say.
anybody.
Okay.
But he's an offensive player.
Yeah.
He is. Yeah. I mean, he's not Cat. Cat's a much better offensive player than
Right.
Vucevic is.
Yeah.
But you can play him off the court. But they have all these wonky lineups they run where, A, they shoot enough
all these
threes
shooters
that destroys any variance. Like, if they're going to make 21 threes in a game, they're going to win regardless of how many points James Harden has.
And if Tatum's back, then they have two superstars. So
and you could put Tatum in those situations, assuming Tatum comes back to be Jason Tatum, which is a gigantic
even if he's 75%, of what he is, that's still a big deal.
Jason Tatum, for as good as he was offensively,
Yeah.
was their best defensive player, too. Jaylen Brown's a 6'7" defensive player that you can muck up things with. He's not going to be guarding Jared Allen or Evan Mobley in the post, but
they
you
got
have
all these
other
pain-in-the-neck
options.
players. They're well coached.
Pritchard,
they have,
they scare me.
You see the question there, are the Cavs the favorites in the East? As much as we're excited about them right now, it's hard to say they're the favorites when they've disappointed in the postseason every year.
The 4 teams we're talking about are all between plus 300 and plus 380.
Right.
Like, it's as close as a 4 tandem has been in the betting odds.
Yeah.
In any conference, and as long as I can remember.
If I had to bet on on who's going to win the East right now, I'd bet on Boston. If I had to, I guess I'd put the Cavs 2, and then the Knicks, and then the Pistons. But the Cavs have a lot to prove, and I think we all think they can win the East, but they've got to show us something, and not just I don't care if they win in the first round against whoever they play. I don't know, Atlanta, Orlando, or
well, it depends on what seed they. If they end up in the 4 seed, it could be them versus Philly, which would be a hell of a first round matchup.
But now, once you get to the second round and you're playing either Detroit, Boston, or the Knicks, now we're serious. Now we find out what they're made of.
Ty, who do you think's the favorite?
The Knicks.
And the Knicks, okay.
I do.
You, Mike?
I would probably go Boston with Cleveland too.
What are they saying about Tatum?
So,
is there any real news on it?
Yeah,
I hope he doesn't come
back. The rumors is that it's way closer than we think.
He tore his Achilles
in the second round last
year. Which is early May.
They should let Dame come back. I mean, he won a 3-point contest off of Achilles.
Yeah. Well.
So
now you're almost at 10 months. We're approaching 10 months.
They just moved a Sunday night 76ers Celtics game that was supposed to be played at 3:30 into the primetime slot at 8 o'clock.
This coming Sunday?
No, it's in like 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Sometime in March. They moved them from a regular
speculation.
game. And it's an NBC primetime game.
Is he like doing drills and stuff?
He's with the G League team right now practicing.
Oh.
NBC, which had the All-Star game, I don't know if you happened to notice, but during the All-Star game ran this very well edited, very conveniently placed, like 3.5-minute package with practice footage of
I didn't see that.
Of Tatum, an interview with Tatum. They talked to the trainers.
Yeah.
This game's on NBC.
Yeah.
NBC happened to have all this footage. NBC shifted the game from non-primetime to primetime. I'm just saying the stars are certainly aligning with the.
If he's already practicing, we got 2 months till the playoffs.
Yeah.
So
he's gonna be back.
He's gonna be back.
I think he will. End up
Now again, will he be a
Jason
superstar
Tatum?
or will he be just a good player when he's back?
And another thing to consider: Jaylen Brown's been incredible this season. Like you can make the case,
will it negatively affect him?
Jaylen Brown's been
he's the man now.
Has been as good, and he's had a few comments this year where he's been like, "This is what I always could have done."
Right.
Like, and remember,
I don't blame him
because him and Tatum have worked. They've won a championship.
Yeah.
Jaylen Brown has always said, "I can be the best player on a championship team." Like he said that out, and he goes, "I love playing with Jason, but like I think I could be that guy."
Yeah.
He won the MVP of the Eastern Conference Finals the year they won the championship. He won NBA Finals MVP.
Yeah.
He's finally getting a chance to run his own team. This team was left for dead.
He won Finals MVP
and Eastern Conference Finals MVP over Tatum when Tatum was healthy. He's finally getting his chance. The Celtics were written off for dead. They're currently the 2 seed in the East.
Right.
He's playing out of his mind.
Yep.
How is that now going to come back and those egos going to mesh? And they've made it work before. I'm not saying they can't make it work again.
But they got to. I mean, but the Cavs have their own things to deal with in that vein.
Yeah.
With James Harden and now Mobley. And Mobley's off the injured list. Is he going to play tonight?
He practiced yesterday.
I bet he plays tonight.
Kenny said it'd be a game time decision. They're going to go through warm-ups today, see how he feels.
It's a good time to play him, and then you sit him tomorrow.
Yeah,
Because tonight you're playing the Nets are the worst team in the league.
16-point favorites tonight.
The Nets are the lowest scoring team in the NBA. The Cavs are the second highest scoring team in the NBA. I saw it at 16.5.
It's been going up and down. It started 15 yesterday. It's up to 16.
I would stay away from that game.
I would touch that.
Not bad. I'm not laying 16.5 against,
That's
not in the modern
That's
NBA.
That's a lot of points.
And the Nets have been feisty. Like, they've had a couple games where they've just gotten absolutely blown out.
Anybody watch St. John's win their 12th straight game against Marquette last night?
Did not.
Where were you? Where were you?
Did you?
I did.
You did.
I did.
They
Big
back.
East record is 14. UConn lost again to Creighton.
I saw that.
It's been a lot of upsets in college basketball the last couple of days.
It's been a great college basketball. We talked a little college basketball.
I'm still on the
yesterday.
Darren Peterson thing.
You see him check himself out the game yesterday?
Yeah, hit the three and then, hey,
nuts.
get me out.
That's a
18 minutes, 23
weird
points.
situation.
I finally saw the ejection from the coach last night, and I thought that was crazy.
Which one?
We were going to talk about it, I think, yesterday.
Mick
the
Cronin?
Mick
Cronin thing?
Yeah.
That guy is such an ass. I heard the clip.
You finally heard it? Yeah.
What a jerk.
The dude didn't raise his voice at all.
First of all, even if he raised his voice, you're not his dad. Yeah. You're not his teacher. What do you mean? He's berating the guy. The guy says something back, and he's like, "Don't raise your voice." I would have told him to F himself. If I were that guy, I would have said, "Go F yourself." He should have said that.
Reportable.
Mick Cronin, you're a garbage human being. On that note, Anthony, what do you got?